We've been talking about your vital signs, and we know blood pressure is so very important. Another super important vital sign, especially now to be keeping track of, is your temperature. So how are you doing that? Are you using the old school thermometers that you have to put into your mouth or your ear? Are you trying to rub across the forehead of your kids or your grandkids when they're not feeling well? Let's move into the latest in technology and talk about infrared technology. This is new for us. It's from Vivitar. It is a no-contact infrared thermometer, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You do not have to touch any part of your body or cross-contaminate. It takes literally seconds to get a clinically accurate reading. And what's really neat about this one too is it can also give you the temperature of objects. So maybe it's a baby bottle or the bathtub or even just your cup of tea. This is going to help you get that measurement quickly and easily. There's no extra parts to buy. You don't have tubes or connectors or covers or tips. It's a one-time purchase that is so important to have on hand. So we're happy to be able to offer it to you today. Very simple to do. You'll notice you either are measuring body or surface, and you can change your mode, and it's literally like a trigger. Just a quick touch of the button is gonna give you a readout on the back on this digital display. So if you'd like to pick it up today, it's $89.95. We do have FlexPay available, so you can get it home for $29.98. And I'm gonna welcome in our guest, Rob Moss. He is a health and wellness contributor here for us at HSN. And Rob, welcome, it's good to see you. We're gonna talk about what's probably one of the most important things to have on hand in any household.
Absolutely, Michelle. You know, with the blood pressure monitor you just showed, you get two of your vital signs. You get the blood pressure and you get the pulse. And as you mentioned, this is going to help you get another of those vital signs. This is the Vivitar contact-free touchless infrared thermometer. And it's packed with features I'm gonna show you, but I just wanna remind everybody that this is something that is part of our lives now, taking our temperature as a screening tool with the public health crisis that we're all going through with coronavirus and COVID-19, which is the illness that causes. So this is going to really help you monitor your temperature in a fast and simple way, as you were mentioning, Michelle. So I wanna show you how simple this is to use and how quickly we get a result. So the first thing I want to show you is it is ergonomically designed, which what that means is it just fits really nicely in your hand. It's lightweight. So what you're going to do, you're going to take this and you're just going to point it right at your forehead and you're going to push the button. It's going to turn on and then you're going to hear a beep. There it is. And I've already got a result here, and it is 98.6. So I know I don't have a temperature. That's great information for me. And so one of the things that I love about this as a registered nurse is that you can have this in your household and it doesn't come into contact with anyone or anything. So you can use it on different family members without any worry about cross-contamination between your family members. It's a great screening tool. If you're having folks over, you can take their temperature, make sure nobody has an elevated temperature. Oh, look at that, Michelle. You've already done it. That is fantastic.
It's very simple to do. It's very ergonomically designed. I love how easy it is to hold, and it just takes seconds. As a mom of two young boys, too, I'm also thinking about just in general, when they're under the weather, and you want to be quick, you want to be discreet. They're not going to sit still. They're definitely not going to hold a thermometer under their tongue. I've tried everything. It's really smart to have this on hand. So yeah, really easy to use.
That is absolutely true. And another thing that I want to point out to everybody, when you take your temperature with this, one of the things I absolutely love about it is this beautiful green backlit display. You know, that makes it very easy for you to read in low light situations, as you were just mentioning, Michelle. If you have a sick child or you're monitoring a child's temperature and you finally get them to sleep, the last thing you want to do is wake them up to take their temperature. So this allows you to go in, you don't have to disturb them, and you can get that vital information that you need. Now, if this machine does detect an elevated temperature, the backlight is going to turn red at 99.3 degrees. And if it's over 100.4, it's going to go a step further. So it's going to not only turn red, but you're also going to hear a beeping alarm that's going to alert you that that temperature is elevated. So where does all that information go? This machine is going to store the last 10 measurements in its memory. And the way you access the memory is there are two little buttons on the side, and you can simply scroll through to get your latest results. You can go backward or forward through that. And why would that be important to us? Well, we want to spot trends in our healthcare. You know, no single measurement really tells us a whole lot. It's a snapshot in time. So what this is going to do, if you're monitoring your temperature over the course of the day, perhaps, you can see whether that number is trending upward or downward. And I think that's a really valuable thing to have. You can also share that information with your doctor. Right. So, and as you were mentioning, Michelle, this also not only takes body temperature, but with a simple slide of the switch here, you just push this forward into the surface setting, and then you can take the temperature of objects. And I have a couple of things right here for you. This is a baby bottle, and you know, back in the day, we used to test that by putting it on our wrist, but now we just take all the guesswork out. This is 144 degrees, and so we definitely know that's too hot to give to baby. That should be around 98.6 or body temperature. And then over here, I have a different object that is going to be quite cold, and you can see there, we went from hot to cold instantly. Again, you get these results in 1 second. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And the fact that it is touch-free, perfect.
And you know, you mentioned as a registered nurse too, your temperature is often the first thing that we check to see if there's any signs of something happening that you necessarily might not know right away. So if you think about it, now of course it's a really important time to be able to quickly, effectively, and accurately take your temperature. But just in general, this is the type of thing you want to have on hand at home. And you don't want to be grabbing for the old school thermometers that take forever, that are hard to read, that you're putting inside your mouth and then sharing amongst family members. You don't have any extra tips to buy or attachments to purchase. It's simple use, it's easy to do. There's only a couple of buttons, one trigger to pull. And I love too that in an instant, I mean literally 1 second, you're gonna get that readout. So it's a quick, effective way to get your temperature reading. It is new for us at HSN, so we're happy to be able to offer this for you. You had mentioned, Rob, how easy it is to go from body to surface measurements. You can do that with just the movement of a switch here. And when you get this home, you still have a full 30 days to try it out and use it. And if you're not happy, you can always send it back, no questions asked. But if you'd like to pick it up today, there's a couple of options for you. You can call us, you can go to hsn.com, you can use our free app to get your order in. There's the item number, 722-494. FlexPay is also available to anyone shopping HSN at any time. That's just an option at checkout that helps you break up the cost into equal monthly payments. There's no interest. You can use any major credit or debit card, PayPal if you prefer that. So you could actually get this home for $29.98, interest-free. Every month you make that payment until it's paid off. One more thing I wanted to mention. If you do not have our HSN credit card, we are running an amazing special. We only do this every so often. When you apply and you're approved, you can use your new card and instantly take $40 off any single item purchase. So that would make this $49.95 for you. So it's a tremendous way to get it home, have some great savings as well. And it's, again, it's one of those things, it's not just a sometimes you might need it, Rob. This is vital for us to have at home no matter what, but now more than ever, and I think as an RN, I'm sure you can speak to that, that temperature is just very important to keep track of.
It really is. It's one of the vital signs. And when we think of vital, we think essential or important, yes? So it's one of those things that we should have a thermometer in our home no matter what. But as you were mentioning, Michelle, you know, sometimes we put the digital thermometer in our mouth and we don't know if we have it in the right spot. You have the ones that go in the ear and you have to pull the ear a certain way or roll something across your forehead. This really takes all of that away and makes it absolutely as simple as I have ever seen it in my nursing career to get a temperature in a very, very quick time period. So I'm going to show you again. If you just... That's all you have to do. Just pull that lever. A little beep is going to sound. And again, right there, we have our result, which is just remarkable to me. I remember when we used to have to wait quite a while to get that number. And you know, we're seeing this everywhere, Michelle. We're seeing screenings like this in schools. We're seeing it at our places of work, you know, in social gatherings. We're seeing this everywhere on airlines. And so this is going to be a great tool for you to have at home. You just saw how simple it is to use. It's giving you great information. And another thing that it's going to do, it will work whether it's, you can set it for Celsius or Fahrenheit, which I think is fantastic because sometimes we have, you should keep something at this many degrees Celsius, and a lot of us don't know what that should be. So this is actually going to do that conversion for you. A lot of thermometers I've seen will allow you to do that before you take the measurement, but this will actually translate that measurement for you after you've taken it. So I think that's another great feature.
I like that it's handheld too, so it's easy to put into a bag if you're traveling, or easy to store away. On the bottom here, this little part opens up. It's just 2 AA batteries. It's nothing fancy, nothing hard to find at any given moment, and I'm sure the batteries last pretty long because, you know, this is not something that's on when you're not using it, so it's easy to just grab and go. It's all about simplicity, but accuracy is very important, and this is using that latest technology of infrared. And so it's not a laser, it's not hot, there's nothing tricky about it. You know, you hear infrared and technology changes so quickly, but this, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the quickest, most accurate way to get readings nowadays. This is what everybody's using.
It really is the latest technology. And again, you're seeing these at airports, you're seeing these at our places of business, at schools. So really, this is the way everything is moving. And it's because it's giving you those clinically accurate results, and it's also incredibly fast. It's storing information for you, very easy to read, as you saw. And I'm just going to do this temperature on these objects again, so you can see how fast this really works for us. It's really, really incredible.
Rob, about how far do you have to hold it from the object or your forehead?
You want to hold it about 1 to 2 inches away, whether that's from your forehead or the object that you're measuring. The further out you get, the less accurate your results are going to be. So you want to make sure you're about 1 to 2 inches away from whatever you're measuring. And I've used this to measure things in my refrigerator. I've used this to measure air vents in my house. Yep. So it really is something that it not only is absolutely essential for the times that we're living in, and essential as a health monitoring tool, but it's also something that you're going to love having around the house when something like that, you want to get the proper temperature.
And it's nice to switch to surface when you need to. Like you mentioned, it could be the bathtub, the baby bottles, tea. It's amazing having the right temperature
Don't
for
forget the tea.
They always tell you on the box, it's like, dude, 2 minutes at this temperature. Well, how am I supposed to know that? Well, now I have a 1-second readout and we can get it right. So very practical, very essential, and I'm really honored that you joined us today to tell us about it. It's new for us at HSN, but you know, to be able to get it home, to be able to use a flex payment, and again, if it's not for you, you can absolutely order things from HSN and change the shipping address. So if there's someone that you want to send this to, you can do that as well. There's no having to run to a drugstore to search through and find what you can get and see what's the best quality and see what's left on the shelf. A lot of us, we just want to be at home. It comes right to your door, and you get to try it for 30 days and decide if it's for you or not. So Rob, I think it's just a really smart thing to have on hand. Very ergonomical as well, easy to do. You just pull one trigger. So it's simplicity at its best. And honestly, when it's something as vital as your temperature, I think the simpler the better. We don't want to deal with attachments and waiting and placing it in the right spot. It just adds to the stress, and then you don't know if your readout is correct.
That is so true. You know, I look for 2 things in any kind of home health device. You know, the first thing is giving you accurate information. That's number 1. And number 2 is it easy to use? Because if it's complicated to use, you're probably not going to use it.
Yeah.
And so this fits the bill in both of those cases. And it's something every household should have. You know, if you've looked around for these recently, they're in short supply everywhere. So I'm just really thrilled that you guys are offering this.
Yes.
And I think everybody should take advantage of this as soon as you can.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Rob. And again, as an RN, I said the same thing to Matt. We thank you for everything that you're doing to keep us safe and healthy during these times. I'm sure we'll see you again soon. And congrats to everybody who's picking that up. We've got a quick break to tell you about Shannon in the House, which is coming up after this hour. And then when we return, we've got a great item from Proform to get your core in shape. We'll be right back.